Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Grizzlies are the 8th seed. They will face the OKC Thunder with a 120-106 victory in the last final play-in game. The Grizzlies were great. Jaren Jackson, 24. Zach Edey, 15 and 11. Ja Morant, 27, 9 and 22, 9 and 7. Desmond Bane, 22. Scottie Pippen Jr., 13. Aldama, 11. Boy, AD came to play tonight. Rich, I know you watched this game, Mitch. AD came to play. PJ Washington played 27 minutes. He and I had the same number of points. I was on a flight. 0. Derek Lively played 20 minutes. Derek Lively the second played 20 minutes. He also had the same number of points that I had. And you had, Mitch, and you had, Ocho, 0 points.
Yeah.
Caleb Martin, he played 11 minutes. I scored him. We both had 0 points. Spencer Dinwiddie, he didn't get in a whole lot. He played 4 minutes, 0 points. Dante Exum, he played 13 minutes. He had 3 more points than a 57-year-old with 2 replaced hips. You're not going to win when you get that kind of production. When you get 2 starters, Mitch, and you know this, you get 2 starters and they play 20-plus minutes and you and you think you're going to be the team on their home court, that's not going to happen. What did you like about what you saw from Memphis tonight, Mitch, and what didn't you like about what you saw from the Dallas Mavericks?
For Dallas, I don't think everyone came to play for sure. We just mentioned that, and Davis did need a lot of help today. He should have. I think if he'd have had Kyrie, it would have looked a lot better. But they didn't have anyone that could really kind of take anybody off the dribble, other than Williams, the point guard that comes off the bench. So they had a lot of trouble just really kind of creating their own shots. And Anthony Davis is the best at creating a shot for one of the biggest men that's in the game. But for the Memphis Grizzlies, man, I like what I saw. They had a balanced scoring. Everybody came to play. And I'm looking forward to this next series because they match up very well with OKC. But OKC, has been the team all year. So it's going to be see how they play.
Yes. When you look at this, and I agree with you, I think they match up because they got a big Zach Edey goes 7-4. You got Jaren Jackson. So when they put their 2 bigs out there, Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, you got a great matchup. The question is, can Zach Edey go outside and defend at the paint? Because Chet Holmgren is going to spend a lot of time. He's going to drag him out the deep. So if I'm thinking, I'm gonna put Zeddy on Hartenstein because I know Hartenstein is no threat for him to shoot no 3-point shots. I ain't worried about him. I'm gonna put Jaren Jackson on Chet Holmgren because he can slide better. He's more mobile. He's more agile, and he's a threat on the offensive end because I got to take some of that zap out of him on the defensive end by making him play defense so his offense suffer as they go there. But I agree with you. When you look at the balanced score and you had 3 guys that gave you at least 20 in your starting lineup, every 6 guys played double figures, and they didn't play a whole lot of minutes. Jared Jackson played the most minutes, 36. All the rest of the guys, 32, 33, 33, 30. So there's not a whole lot of exertion going on. I don't know when they play
Sunday.
The game.
Sunday
or Monday.
Yeah.
Sunday. So they got a quick turnaround. But hey, I'm in the playoffs. I like this matchup. Ocho, you watching this game? What'd you like? What you think about what you saw from the Grizzlies?
Well, listen, from the Grizzlies, they played really well. Bane, phenomenal. Ja Morant was going to do what Ja does. Everybody else, collectively as a group, everybody contributed. Everybody scored. On the other side of it, again, it makes Nico look ridiculous. Now, I understand Anthony Davis had the game of his life. He had 20-some points at the half, had 40 at one point. I think might have been the third or the fourth quarter, but nobody else showed up.
Nope.
PJ had a donut at the half. Klay Thompson really wasn't hitting any shots in the first half. He showed up a little bit in the second half, creating shots, doing what he does down in the post, in the block. But still, nobody else showed up for the Mavericks. Anthony Davis, obviously having to be hero with no help tonight, is why they lost the game.
Yeah, he gave you 49, 2, or a steal and a block. And that's what's most disappointing. I think AD acquitted himself very well, but nobody's surprised by AD playing like this. I don't care if Jaren Jackson is a defensive player of the year. AD gonna score on anybody. We've seen him against some of the best, be it Nikola Jokic, be it against Giannis, be it against Joel Embiid. Anthony Davis, this is what frustrates people about him, Mitch, is that we see him give Joel Embiid a 40 piece. Right. We see him drop 40 on Jokic. We see him give 30, 40 to Giannis. And then all of a sudden he'll come up and play a game where he have 9 points and 8 rebounds. And we like, what the hell, AD? I'm not surprised that AD had a 49 and 2 game. Nobody should be, because he's that good. The problem is he's not consistent as he should be, given his ability. He can put the ball on the floor. He can finish at the rim. He can play with his back to the rim. He's a 3-level. He got a mid-range. He can shoot the 3. Now, he's not great at it, but he can get to the free throw line. That's what is sometimes frustrating about AD, is because you see what he's capable of when he comes to play. Go ahead, Ocho.
Well, listen. I'm not a professional basketball player, but I do got eyes and I do have common sense. AD didn't have a choice but to play like this tonight, huh?
Yeah.
The nights when he does have 9 points, he has help. He has help to make up for the production that he doesn't have on those nights that he's off. Now, a night like this, when nobody else is helping and scoring and putting the goddamn ball in the hoop, he don't have no choice but to have a night like this. And he's one of the few players in the NBA that can take over a game. That's a 3-level scorer. He can shoot from 3. He's not that high efficient. He ain't no goddamn Steph Curry. He got mid-range. He can take your head down in the block too, whatever you want to do. So in order for them to have any type of consistency until they get the big dog back, and this we talk about next year, right? Kyrie coming back, and obviously have some other help collectively. It's gonna be a long time before grace is given to management for the choices and decisions that they made in shipping Luka out. Could you imagine how in the hell we ship Luka out based on some stuff that has nothing to do with off the court, and the stuff that he does on the court is going to continue to show up for the next decade somewhere else, when it could have been us, when he just took us to the goddamn finals last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we talk about AD, man, AD is a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But I think we always see that some of those games where he should be demanding the balls. We saw a lot of the Lakers game where he started out very well, but he just floated through the whole game and without even asking for the ball. And I think sometimes we need to see that, that toughness of him to just say, hey, man, give me the goddamn ball. But he never does that. And so he just float through the game sometimes, and then you forget about him, that he's on the court,
Yeah, when you have a guy that kind of skill level, because people don't realize AD's 6'10" and a half. He can put the ball on the floor. He can handle the ball. He can play with his back to the basket. That's what he likes to play. See, he's in a perfect situation. He's in a much better situation in Dallas than he was in LA, because they didn't have big. If you go back and look at AD when he played his best, what did they have around him, Mitch? They had JaVale McGee. They had Dwight Howard. So he basically played for the entire game except the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. He played the 4. Now the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, he's playing the 5. Go back and look at his stats. His first year there, that was his best year statistically. Led the team in scoring, led the team in rebounding, because because you got 3 bigs. He could always play the 4 until the final 5 minutes of the ball game, and then he slide to the 5, which he didn't have a problem with. Now he goes to 8. He goes to Dallas. What do they have? Derek Lively the second. AD can play the 4. Daniel Gafford, he can play the 4. Powell, he can play the 4.
Yeah.
You see? So in a situation, theoretically, Ocho, he's better in Dallas than he was in LA, because they got bigs around him, so he can play his natural position, a position that he feels most comfortable playing, because he's made it abundantly clear. He said, go back and look at me when I was in New Orleans, when we had Boogie, and I could play the 4. Look at my numbers, and he ain't lying.
Yeah, but I think at times, though, like you said, he's better at the 5, though. Once you try, when you have shooters around him, they're a better team at the 5, because sometimes he falls in love with the outside game. Assert himself like when he's a big man. When they want him to play big man, and we know when he first came in the league, AD was a runner. Used to beat the big man down the floor. So when he played the 5, he drove the big man crazy. AD don't run no more. And you see that he jogs down. He's into his little steps. But this guy he's so efficient. When he gets the ball, he makes a play. And the one thing I do like about him is he plays on that other end. He blocks shots. He rebounds. He covers up.
On ball defender. He helped weak side. You're absolutely right. But Mitch, here's the thing though. Is that when you look at AD and every once in a while he'll get that early leak out. He'll get the guy on his back. They throw the ball down and he'll get down there. But see, the problem with him playing the 5, AD don't want to bang.
That. No.
You see the thing? No. You see, you play the 5. You play the 5, Mitch. You got to bang.
But who really? Who really banging? Chad, who really banging?
See, matter of fact, that's what I was raising my hand. See, I gotta raise my hand like I'm in class, like I'm a student. So I was just getting ready to ask you, is it better? Does he like being at the 5 for the simple fact that the game has changed? The game has changed. They're not really down there banging like that as opposed to how they used to be back in the day.
Right.
When you want to get your points, you got your big man down in the box. He posts up and you get in the ball. The game of basketball has changed from that in general, where he feels comfortable being at the 5. If you want to come out, you can come out and face up or take somebody off the dribble and do it.
We got to remember when Anthony Davis was in high school, he was a point guard. He was 6 feet tall.
Yes.
He grew 11 inches or whatever. 11, he became a center. And so he wants to be out on the perimeter at times. I think a lot of big guys see Kevin Durant and they want to mimic that type of play because Kevin Durant is 6'11". He can do it all. And they want to see that right there. They see themselves doing that. Even Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins wanted to get out on the perimeter a little bit and do it. Even Shaq wanted to get out on the perimeter and do his thing and show what he can do.
And that's the thing, because AD's looking at it like, man, I get injured the most when I'm playing the 5 because all that banging, I'm stumbling over people, they banging on me. I don't have that kind of oomph in my body. And like you said, there ain't a whole lot of guys that he got to bang with. You got to bang with Joel Embiid, you got to bang with Jokic, but those are really the only centers. Every once in a while you'll bump into a Sabonis, but Sabonis ain't really really. I mean, he crafty, but he ain't really gonna get 30 like a Joker. Ain't 30, 40, even 50 on you. Same with Joel Embiid. Giannis is a guy that's looking to run. Giannis is looking for cracks. He's gonna try to slither his way through the crack, Euro step you, and get to the thing. But AD has made it up in his mind that I need to be at the 4. And you ain't not going to be at this point in time, 12, 13 years in, Mitch, you're not going to convince him that you better at the 5.
No question about it. And we look at the centers today. The centers don't run down and post up in the middle of the paint. Maybe Edie, he's probably the only one. Centers now, they really create the offense. They at the top of the key. They either doing triple handoff, they setting a pick at the top so they can dive, but they never really running down the lane and getting to the middle of the basket and using their side.
Those are easy baskets.
They want to be on the perimeter, so the game truly has changed.
Because you go back and study Shaq. When Shaq's first 8 years, look how Shaq was the first one down the court.
Every time.
He was slim though when he was in Orlando.
But he was slim. He was running straight to the front of the rim. They're gonna throw it into him. He was gonna drop step and he gonna put everybody in the basket. And you just hope he didn't pull it down on your head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the thing. So the Memphis Grizzlies, they defeat the Dallas Mavericks 120-106. They advance their 8th seed. They go and face the OKC Thunder, which we believe is going to be a great matchup.